Nearly 3 weeks in the heart of Bangkok and Pattaya. The neon, the noise, the constant stimulation. It gets into your head, and sometimes the only way to reset is to walk away from it. This trip to Lopburi and Ayutthaya wasn't about nightlife. It was about slowing down, just walking, taking photographs, soaking in some history, and seeing what that might do to my state of mind. I took the train from Hua Lamphong railway station, 28 baht, third class, almost 3 hours of heat, noise, and sweat. But that's the beauty of it. No flights, no planning, just a ticket and the will to go. 2 nights in Lopburi, exploring ruins. Then on to Ayutthaya for another 2 nights before returning to Bangkok. In Lopburi, the place for Western travelers is Noom Guesthouse. Comfortable rooms for around 600 baht, good food, and a laid-back vibe. It's really the only spot in town set up for us. And for what I needed, it was perfect. The star attraction of Lopburi is the Monkey Temple, the ruins of Phra Prang Sam Yod. Built in the late 13th century during the Khmer Empire, it began as a Hindu shrine before later becoming a Buddhist temple. Time and war chipped away at its walls, but the biggest takeover came from the macaques. Locals believe feeding them brings good luck, so they've been allowed to stay, and now they rule the place. Standing here was such a contrast to the neon-lit bars and streets of Bangkok and Pattaya. A different kind of chaos. This was a chance to reset, to let my mind drift away from those places for a while, and to indulge my own interests. History, photography, and just watching life unfold without the pull of the nightlife. Another great site to walk around is Wat Phra Si Mahathat. This was once the spiritual heart of Lopburi during the Ayutthaya Kingdom, a place of ceremonies, processions, and royal visits. That ended when the Burmese invasions tore through the region. The temple was left in ruins, but the main prang still rises over the old town, surrounded by broken cloisters and weathered Buddha statues. You can still feel the weight of centuries in the air here. History that hasn't been polished for tourists, just left as it is. What's good about Lopburi's old town is that everything is within walking distance from Noom Guesthouse. You don't need taxis, you don't need to plan. Just get up, step out into the cool morning light, and in a couple of hours you can see the best of it before the heat and the monkeys take over. And Lopburi wasn't just a break from neon and noise, it was a break from all the tourists. In Bangkok and Pattaya, you are surrounded by your own kind whether you want to be or not. Here, you stand out. People notice you. A smile, a wave from a passing motorbike, a nod from a shopkeeper. After weeks of being invisible in the big city, it's strange to suddenly be seen again, and it changes how you feel. It's not about attention, it's about connection. The sense that you're in a place where you're still a novelty, not just another face in the background. Visit the other great attraction, the ruins of the French ambassador's residence, just opposite the old palace. This dates back to the late 1600s, when King Narai opened Lopburi to foreign envoys. The French were invited here to strengthen ties, and this building was part of their diplomatic compound. Now it's just crumbling brick walls, but you can still imagine the banquets and negotiations that once took place inside. Most of Lopburi's attractions open from 8 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. Not the best light for photography, and right in the heat of the day. But you can see a lot from the perimeter, and there are often ways in if you look. 2 nights was enough in Lopburi before you start looping the same streets and running out of new sights. It was laid back and relaxing, exactly what I needed after Bangkok and Pattaya. There's no bar scene, just a few Thai places and a single 7-Eleven. But Noom stays open late enough. Early to bed, early to rise. I even made contact with one local on Thai Friendly, but we didn't meet. Time was short, and the road was calling. The train from Lopburi to Ayutthaya cost about 12 baht. A decent coffee costs 5 times more. This is the way to do it. Lopburi first, then Ayutthaya on the way back to Bangkok. In Ayutthaya, stay on the island. You're within walking distance of the main temples and ruins. Outside the train station, you'll find these tiny shared taxis, barely big enough for 2 people. 100 baht later, I was at Baan Bussara, my base for the next 2 nights. About 600 baht a night. Basic, but with everything you need, and more importantly, quiet. After checking in, it was time to explore Ayutthaya's famous temples, starting with Wat Mahathat, just a short walk from the hotel. This is what you come to Ayutthaya for. Built in the 14th century, it was once the spiritual heart of the kingdom, known for its towering prang, and later for the Buddha head entwined in tree roots. The Burmese left it in ruins in 1767, but even in decay, it still draws the crowds. A lot more tourists here, plenty of day trippers from Bangkok, and for some reason a lot of French and Italians. And it was hot. By the end of my first day, I'd walked the circuit and seen Ayutthaya's 3 great ruins. Wat Ratchaburana, built to honor 2 princes who died fighting each other for the throne. Wat Phra Si Sanphet, the royal temple, once home to a giant gold Buddha before the Burmese melted it down. These places were the height of a kingdom. Now, just brick, ash, and memory. Civilizations rise, they peak, and they fade. The same can be said for streets and cities built for pleasure. Nothing stays on top forever. A short walk from my hotel brought me to Soi 8 on Naresuan Road, once the main bar zone here, but nothing adult. Tony's place is the center of it all, a good spot to eat and drink, but I wouldn't stay here. It's popular with families, tour groups, and packs of backpackers passing through. Like much of Ayutthaya, it's low-key and walkable. You come here for a beer after a day of exploring, not to lose a night. It's the kind of place that reminds you this city isn't built for neon and chaos. It's built for slower evenings, where the stories you take home are about the day, not the night. In the afternoon, I booked a boat trip through the hotel, 300 baht, pick-up and drop-off at the pier. It was damn hot, but out on the water, the river breeze took the edge off. The problem was the company, a small boat crammed with mostly French family types, settlers. And there I was, the seeker, wedged in amongst them, counting the minutes until I could breathe on my own again. Some journeys are better taken alone. Still, we stopped at a few interesting spots, finishing at Wat Chaiwatthanaram. Built in 1630 by King Prasat Thong to honor his mother, it mirrored the grandeur of Angkor Wat. In 1767, the Burmese left it in ruin. Today, it's one of Ayutthaya's most striking silhouettes. A reminder that even beauty built in stone can be pulled down, and the river just keeps flowing past. For my last night in Ayutthaya, I drifted away from the temples and into a different kind of zone. Talat Grand Soi 8. About 4 kilometers from the tourist island, 100 baht grab ride put me there. You just can't keep a bad dog down. Curiosity pulled me in. This was a more local scene. Thai signs, barely a word of English. The new Cowboy Bar sat at the center, a place to sink a few Leos before stepping back out into streets lined with massage parlors and hostess bars, most catering to Japanese businessmen. I bargained my way into a 4-hands massage for 2,000 baht, and let's just say it was more than a massage. A good last night in Ayutthaya, a reminder that even in a city of ruins, temptation finds a corner to hide in, waiting for you to come looking. On my last morning in Ayutthaya, I walked the temples one more time. No crowds yet, just the sound of my footsteps and the birds. The heat hadn't set in, and for a while, it felt like the city was mine alone. Back at the room, a final look around. The kind of place you won't remember for the decor, but for the quiet it gave you. Bags packed, I headed to Tony's place for one last breakfast. Families, backpackers, the clatter of plates, the normal rhythm of a town that doesn't live for the night. Then, to the station, sitting in the shade, watching trains roll in and out. This is why I came, to strip it back, to remember what life feels like without the neon and the noise. A short reset before the train carries me back to Bangkok, and whatever waits for me there.